Hello and welcome to I Watched It With My Wife. I'm Jeremy and I'm here with my wife.
Hello.
Her name is Sarah. This week on I Watched It With My Wife, we are reviewing the new Pixar original movie Soul. It was supposed to be released in theaters in 2020, but pandemic, COVID, everything went wrong. So Pixar decided to release it on Disney Plus. It was in the free section. It did not go to Premiere Access. It hit Christmas Day. We actually watched it the day after Christmas. And so this is the 23rd Pixar film. So Sarah, what did you think of Soul?
I liked it. It kind of reminded me of Up a little bit in some sense as like a young soul hanging out with an older soul or a young person hanging out with an older person and learning from each other. I thought it was a really cute movie. It was a little bit, there was some little bit of boring parts in the beginning, but overall it was really cute.
Yes, it was a little slow getting to where it needed to go, but once it did, it was very fun. In other parts, it was boring in parts, and it was fun in parts. It was cute. I recognized the comparisons to Up. I also kind of the dealing with souls was very reminiscent of Inside Out's dealing with feelings. So yeah, it kind of felt like Up meets Inside Out, which the director was Pete Docter, which I would have to look up. He's known well in the Pixar circles. I think he may have directed Up, if I remember right. I would need to double check that. But yeah, he has been well in the Pixar things, and a lot of the Pixar movies come to very similar endings, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I really liked how 22, the
22,
young
the
soul.
young soul who was voiced by Tina Fey in the film.
Okay. I liked how her purpose of life or spark was just to live. And, not everybody is good at things. Not everybody has talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I don't really think I have a lot of talent. Like, I'm not a talented person in a sense of I don't play an instrument. I don't cook very well.
you're lying on
Um,
that one.
I cook okay, but not very well. I don't like I don't know. I don't really like I'm not artsy. I'm terrible at art actually. I'm really bad at making crafts. Like I could sit here all day and list things that I'm bad at. Oh, sports. I'm terrible at sports. Um
My taste buds differ with your assessment that you can't cook.
well, I'm not the worst cook in the world, but I'm not really that great of a cook. I'm like a medium cook. Like
You're
I'm
not.
okay.
You're never going to be winning cooking
No,
contests.
exactly. That's like not my spark. That's not my passion. That's not something I'm good at. That's not what I'm made to do.
Great at taking
Is what
care of
I'm
this
saying.
family.
Well, yeah, I have to. I kind of like have to.
Yeah, these two boys need us.
But no, I'm not saying I have no purpose. I'm saying my purpose isn't like defined.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like some people their purpose is a very specific thing. They're very musically talented or they're very artsy or they're very good at whatever and they discover that at a young age. I never discovered that really till I kind of got older and I just kind of like fell into my purposes. I never knew. I remember growing up and not knowing what I wanted, not knowing what I wanted to do. Nothing really appealed to me until I started doing what I was doing now and decided that, hey, I like this. I'm just going to stick with it, which is not a bad thing. And they addressed that in the movie too with the barber, how he was like, how they thought that the barber was unhappy because he wasn't doing what he was set to do
but
or
he
what
had.
he had intended to do. But he was like, no, I'm still happy. And that's okay. Not everybody's spark or purpose is a specific thing. It can be many things like living your life, just enjoying your life and trying to have fun.
Yeah, it was a great way of explaining that just because something motivates you doesn't mean that's the sole reason. Different type of soul, SOLE. No pun
Yeah.
intended there. The sole reason for doing that, and it's great how they mixed in the title works as a double meaning for soul, as in the soul within your body, and soul as in soul music, because he was, I mean, granted, he was guided by jazz, not specifically soul, but there's very similar things between soul and jazz. I did love Jamie Foxx provided the voice of Joe Gardner, the main character. He was very good in that role. Maybe he can get another Oscar for this one.
That would be nice. I think that this movie was really good. I do. I think that there was a lot of, again, there was the beginning of it was a little slow and was a little sleepy in the beginning for me, but I think it was pretty good. The just the music behind it and the passion, like he had a passion for what he was doing, but that wasn't the only thing he was passionate about. He wasn't passionate about just being a musician. He had to realize he had a passion to live, and that's important.
It kind of reminds me of the movie Mr. Holland's Opus.
Never seen it.
It's on Disney Plus as well.
Okay.
If you check it out, in the film, Mr. Holland is, he wants to be a classical musician. He's writing his own piece, and he spends years as a music teacher at a high school. Never performs his piece, and then when he's forced into retirement because they're cutting the arts at his school, he finally gets to conduct the piece that he wrote with almost all of his former students coming back.
I think I remember you telling me about this movie. Doesn't he have like a deaf child?
He has a deaf child.
Okay, yeah, you told me about this, but I never seen it.
It's Richard Dreyfuss was nominated for an Oscar for that role. This is kind of similar because if you kind of pay attention to it, it seems like Joe Gardner's spark isn't just music; it's teaching music, guiding the middle school, inspiring, guiding the middle school students that he is teaching, or guiding, this soul that's needs to earn its earth badge so it can be put into a body. It is kind of, it's got a lot of similarities to Mr. Holland's Opus there. But, music definitely serves as both an anchor for it and to guide the entire movie. Something that you noticed that I thought was interesting is that, most of this music in the background, most of the score is jazz, but it was written by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross from Nine Inch Nails, who, if you've ever heard Nine Inch Nails, are probably the furthest thing from jazz you will ever experience.
Well, actually, Nine Inch Nails their music is very intricate and a little bit all over the place. Like they have beats, but like steady beats, but a lot of times they throw different notes in there. Like the song that comes to mind is the beat to like Closer, how it's got like unexpected parts and it ties in weird beats. And jazz tends to do that. That's why jazz isn't exactly my favorite kind of music. That's not a secret. Nine Inch Nails does have like some jazz vibes in some of their songs, and also heavy on the piano. Trent Reznor is a very talented.
I know they're heavy on the piano.
I mean, he's a talented musician,
and that's why Nine Inch Nails was just named to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They did not have the induction ceremony this year because of COVID,
but they definitely deserve to be there.
They will be there.
Their music is very unique.
They will be there. They will be the number 2 people on the list because it's also going to include Whitney Houston. So we know who the headliner is.
Yeah, Whitney Houston's deceased, so.
But
that's irrelevant.
That has nothing to do with who they name as the headliner for the induction. They named the most famous, most inspirational musician of the group, and Whitney Houston's going to take that. No offense to the Nine Inch Nails, but Whitney Houston's going to take that. Well, against most people.
And we can debate that on our other podcast. I listened with my wife. If you're interested in listening to that, shameless plug right there.
And also, if you get a chance, once we can travel again, go to Cleveland and go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a fun day.
Yes, we actually recorded an episode where we talked about going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on our podcast, Caregiver Chronicles, too.
Another shameless plug.
Yep. I'm shamelessly plugging myself all over the place. Am I allowed to say that on this podcast?
You're allowed to say whatever you want. I can edit later if I have to. But that's beside the point. Okay.
Definitely watch Soul. And it's family friendly.
It is family friendly. It's a lot of fun. This is like I said, it's the 23rd Pixar film. So I have a question. What is your favorite Pixar film?
My favorite Pixar film, probably Up. I really like Up a lot.
Up was good. If you can get past the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes makes everybody cry.
See, I didn't cry.
One of my coworkers, who you would not strike him as the guy who cries. He's like, when I saw Up first 10 minutes, I cried, but he also pointed out that he and his wife had just suffered a miscarriage like right before they went to see that, and then it was the
But I didn't cry
husband.
watching Up.
Well, you have no soul, I guess. But
Another movie I didn't cry at.
I didn't cry at Soul either. My favorite.
No, but I could see it making some people cry.
I could see
People
it.
with emotions.
Yes. My favorite Pixar movie is Cars.
I like Cars a lot too.
Yeah, objectively, it's not the best Pixar movie. If you're going from a plot device, Toy Story and Finding Nemo, The Incredibles are better when it comes to plot. But a lot of what appeals to me about Cars is my dad grew up 20 minutes from Route 66. And a lot of that movie is about going down Route 66. And when the interstate was built, all these small towns along Route 66 in the middle of the country getting passed by. And I've been to a lot of these small towns. I recognize that right away. So there's a nostalgia in it for me. Last time we went to my parents' house, we just drove down Route 66.
Yeah, we just took a trip down it just to see where it led.
It was, it's a lot of fun.
We ended up getting our tire busted in a national park.
State park, but anyway.
State park.
But yeah, that was just in Missouri, but Route 66 goes all the way to California. I've been on it in both Missouri and Oklahoma. I'd love to get on it in other states and just see some of these small towns. So for me, Cars, what is your least favorite Pixar film?
Honestly, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Well, I've never seen, like, The Incredibles. There's a lot of Pixar films I have not seen. But in Cars would be my second favorite, probably, or up there. But I have to say, for my least favorite, I would say one of the Toy Stories. I'm just not sure which one. I'm going to get hate for that, aren't I?
You probably will, but what I would say is Toy Story was a nice beginning. Toy Story 2, I think, is a better film. Like, if you could put the plot of Toy Story 2 in a different film not involving toys, and I think it's still a good film. Toy Story and Toy Story 3 kind of only work in the frame of Toy Story, and the less said about Toy Story 4, the better.
I don't hate Toy Story, that being said. I want to say that. I like... Oh, no, wait, was WALL-E a Pixar
WALL-E
film?
was a Pixar
Oh, okay, I hated WALL-E. That movie was terrible. That was worse than Toy Story.
By far, it was worse than Toy Story. I'm not
so I didn't like WALL-E.
Yeah, we're both going to get hate. I don't care. People are like, it was so great because it's near a perfect movie. I'm like, shut the
And I like
up.
Well, I like the message of WALL-E of, like, take care of the environment and stuff like that. I'm all for that. And I think robots are cute. But that being said, I did not think WALL-E was that great. There was no dialogue, and I just like dialogue in movies.
I didn't need the dialogue for it.
I didn't need dialogue.
I didn't need the dialogue. Here's why.
It was boring.
Okay. Well, first off, my least favorite Pixar film is The Good Dinosaur. It's just not a good film. I
haven't seen it.
It is generally agreed to be the worst Pixar film. As for WALL-E, I agree with her. I don't like WALL-E at all. I think WALL-E is the Dave Matthews Band of movies, in that I understand the message that it's trying to convey.
Dave Matthews Band of movies.
I understand the message that it's trying to convey.
Not the Nickelback of movies, the Dave Matthews Band of movies.
Well, one is bad going in. The other should be good and isn't.
I'll stop laughing now.
If WALL-E is the Dave Matthews Band, then The Good Dinosaur is the Nickelback. How's that? But as for WALL-E, I understand the message. I'm still trying to explain this here.
I can't stop laughing.
I read my review on what's on Disney Plus. I ranked the 22 previous Pixar films on there, and I said this in my explanation of it, that WALL-E is the Dave Matthews Band of movies. I understand and respect the message it is trying to convey, but quite frankly, it does it in such a piss poor way that I'm just like, what the fuck?
Hey, family-friendly podcast here.
Hey, no, it's not. I can put an explicit label on it all I want. This isn't Caregiver Chronicles. I can do what I want. But
I did not read that review.
Yes, you did. You commented on it. You said it was hysterical that I called it the Dave Matthews Band of movies.
I did. Why don't I remember this?
Well, you can go find it on my author page. But yeah, I understand the message that WALL-E tries to convey. I respect what WALL-E tries to convey. Same with the Dave Matthews Band. But it does it in such a heavy-handed and obnoxious way that I'm just like, dude, no. Where's that picture song? I fucking hate Dave Matthews. I fucking hate Wally. This one is definitely getting an explicit tag.
Or we could just edit that out.
Oh no, I'm leaving that in. I want people to know how much I hate Wally. Anyway, now to Sarah's favorite segment, Snacks with Sarah.
I'm still laughing about the Dave Matthews of movies. Actually, I don't know. There's got to be a band worse than them.
There's plenty of bands worse than them. There are plenty of movies
But
worse
anyway,
than Wally.
no, I do want to mention though, Soul is definitely a good movie. Watch it with your family and friends. We watched it on Disney Plus and it was good. So, snacks with Sarah. So today's snack was a cheese board that I picked up at our local grocery store. It just had 4 types of cheese on it? Sharp
cheddar, pepper jack, Swiss, which I don't think we touched any of the Swiss, and brie, and then there's some grapes and some pepperoni.
Yes, and then I got a box of crackers. What kind of crackers did I get? It was the store brand, and they were like wheat thins, but they were like rosemary and olive oil wheat thins.
Yeah.
They were pretty good. And when I warmed up the brie, because I like brie better warmed up, I just warmed it up in the toaster oven. It was easy to do, and I just put a little honey and everything bagel seasoning on it. So everybody loves a good cheese and cracker board. That's like the best snack ever. I paired it because I made it a little sweet, a little savory, a little spicy. I paired it with just the Barefoot Pink Moscato because it's good. And it's just like my classic go-to wine when I want a glass of wine. Jeremy, what did you drink?
I had a Mike's Herder strawberry lemonade. I like Mike's Hard lemonade. I like strawberry. I like strawberry lemonades. So, was pretty easy combination there.
Yes. And so that is our segment, Snacks with Sarah.
So, Sarah, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank Soul?
I would give it an 8. I thought it was really good. Again, the beginning was a little sleepy, but it's a Pixar movie. It's a kid's movie. There's not going to be explosions or blood everywhere. Things that I enjoy. It was good. It was a really good movie. It had a really good message. I think it had an important message that, it's okay to not have a specific thing that is your reason. It's okay to just have life as your reason. And I think we get lost in that. What are you good at? Versus, what kind of person are you?
Okay. I give this a 7. I enjoyed it. The parts that at the beginning were kind of boring. And I spent a long time going, who is the voice of 22 until I figured out it was Tina Fey. I didn't do that time as soon as I heard Joe Gardner speak. I knew it was Jamie Foxx. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll definitely watch it again. But it doesn't rank up there. If I'm going to go with, let's just throw out the sequels and just go through the original Pixar films. I like Toy Story better. I like Cars better. I liked Coco, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles. I liked all of them. Inside Out. I liked all of Up. I liked all of them better than Soul. But I liked Soul better than most of your sequels. I liked it better than Onward, which came out earlier this year that we liked. And I liked it better than Wall-E and The Good Dinosaur and Brave.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a middle of the road Pixar film for me. So it's about a 7.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
All right. So that'll do it for this episode of I Watched It With My Wife. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are also available on Anchor. We have a website, withmywifepod.com. And you can also reach us at withmywifepod@gmail.com. And on our next episode, we are going to be reviewing, we're going to go to the DC universe. We did a Marvel movie earlier. We're going to the DC universe. We're going to be reviewing Wonder Woman.
And there better be explosions.
There are definitely explosions in Wonder. This is the first one. Now, this is the first Wonder Woman, not the sequel Wonder Woman 1984 that just came out on Christmas Day on HBO Max. We're going to be watching the first Wonder Woman, and we will be seeing you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.